on this or earlier yesterday, we mentioned that there were going to be two systems ongoing here for severe weather, really today and for tomorrow, in terms of the East Coast and as well as down here into Texas and into portions of New Mexico. We've got a huge upper level system ongoing up into the Northeast and another upper level system back down into Texas. Those are going to be causing two different events. The Northeast mode, not too big of a concern. A low end tornado risk, low end damage and wind threat, and a low end hail threat. And then we've also got down here into Texas. Texas is going to be really the hot spot that we're going to be talking about over the next couple of days. Let me switch over here so you guys can actually see me drawing. There we go. A little bit better there. As I was saying, first system, second system, there's actually some snow ongoing up here into portions of higher southern Colorado there, into portions of Utah and up into northern portions of New Mexico there, where the terrain changes a little bit there. I do want to briefly talk here for just a quick second on this upper level system that we've got ongoing over here. There's a lot of rain that's been ongoing in the Ohio Valley, lots of rain up in Michigan, up along the Great Lakes there. Some severe weather, actually a severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of Pittsburgh here for 1.25-inch hail. It is also a TORPOS tag severe thunderstorm warning here. This is going to be for Plumville, just west of Indiana, here in Pennsylvania. Once again, TORPOS, 1.25-inch hail, and 60-mile-per-hour winds here. Low into risk zone overall. This risk zone is pretty much also done for the night. We've got a couple little storms out here that are still producing a little bit of some severe weather criteria here, but nothing too crazy, guys. We'll get another shot at some severe weather up here tomorrow for you guys. We'll talk about that here again in just a second. As I was saying, though, a second ago, low in 2%. I believe there still is a 2% here. Let me double check on this. I believe it is still... Yeah, no tornado risk here. There's less than 2%. The wind and the hail threat is what's out, I believe. Yeah, wind and hail threat is what's out for this evening. And then I believe the wind threat is also, wind threat is also there. So, okay, wanted to double check on that. So just be mindful if you're out and about. But other than that, Northeast is getting some rain and back down here into, what is up, Jessica? Good to see you there. A little bit of severe weather still ongoing down here into the East Coast. Got one little pop-up storm down here near Whiteville. But other than that, most of those storms are pretty much done for the evening. Where is our low pressure system, you ask? Our low pressure system is actually right here. We've got this huge, massive complex with this, or just outside cold front here, outside the low pressure system. And this low is going to continue to spin and spin and spin and spin until it's off the East Coast. And it's not going to be off the East Coast until probably about Tuesday or Wednesday, I would say, just kind of looking at what the models are suggesting here. So, guys, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a pretty big, deep analysis on what's going to be happening really for this week. Next week's still a little bit of uncertainty. I will say, just for you guys now that live in Texas and up in New Mexico, we are going to have severe weather coverage tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be a pretty lengthy severe weather coverage day. We're probably going to be on for about 8 to 10 hours tomorrow, probably into the overnight hours as well. So we'll probably already be on once we technically do our nightly update tomorrow night. We paused the stream to hang out. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, as I was saying though, upper level system here giving us a good amount of rainfall, not in terms of flooding or anything, but just a good amount of decent rainfall that, that needs to be here. At least the words I'll say for that here. Now back over here in West Texas, a little bit of a different story ongoing. We've actually got a severe thunderstorm warning currently right now for destructive winds. This is an 80-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm warning over here near Kermit, Texas. This is along Interstate 20 here near Mohanas, or Monahans, I guess is how you say that, west of Odessa. 1.5-inch hail. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning in this area. The rest of these storms are pretty much sub-severe at this point, with the exception of the one up here in Albuquerque. And this is also for 1-inch hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds or less. So yeah, just something to be mindful of here. Yeah, I bet people's phones are going off, especially if they're in this area here. Destructive wind warnings are not something to be taken lightly whatsoever. So definitely something that needs to be very, very serious in terms of taking that, out of precaution there. This storm should start to eventually fade. Let me double check on this. Let me actually go to our radar site here. Let's see what this looks like. Wait for it to load real quick. Maybe we'll get it to load, potentially. We'll see. I'm trying, guys, here. Bear with me. Bear with me for just a second. If you guys are coming into the stream, tap that screen. I do appreciate you guys very, 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 very much. I guess we're not going to get a view of what's happening. We'll see. There we go. There it is. Yeah, this is a pretty nasty storm. Odessa, Texas is now in this. So it's been reduced from 80-mile-per-hour winds to 70-mile-per-hour winds, but still a little nasty complex here, or a little cell moving through. You can kind of see that bowing feature. This is actually going to be a common theme for what we're going to see over the next couple of days here as well. Yes, that will make your phone go off. Yes, it will. It's a destructive wind warning. It's a PDS basically in terms of severe criteria. Yeah, it will definitely do that. So Odessa, be mindful here. You got some pretty large hail moving into your area here. Golf ball size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds along the Interstate 20 corridor here, just north and south of Gardendale and north of Crane, Texas. So just be mindful of that here. This storm looks to be at least on a weakening trend from what we were seeing a little bit ago. I can play this radar back just slightly. Yeah, this looked a lot more impressive a few minutes ago. Let's take a look at velocity just really quickly. Yep, and you can see exactly where that damaging wind threat is going to be coming in at, right along your gust front here. So, other than that, it's a pretty quiet night for a lot of people. That's going to start to change as we go into tomorrow. Like I mentioned, severe weather tomorrow. We'll get to that here in just a second. But other than that, that's what we're going to be watching for really the next couple of days here. I'll also put on the water vapor imagery of the IR so you guys can also see. Yeah, look at this thing. This is super impressive. I always love to look at our IR satellite imagery here. It's quite impressive. Like I said, you've got this pretty decent trough that's moving in over on the West Pacific here. You can actually see there's a low pressure. There is an invisible low pressure system here, but you can see that counterclockwise spin around the low that's going to be developing. You can see this thing is very, very identical to pick out here. That low pressure system basically right over the central and western Kentucky line. So, or the western Kentucky, southern Illinois, southern Indiana line, and then that cold front extending all the way down to basically the East Coast there. So overall, just a pretty impressive system overall. So alrighty, guys, I want to talk in a nutshell on what's going to happen here for the next couple of days. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Let me go to the National Weather Service. Here we go. All right, so as I mentioned, marginal for the next until about 7 a.m. Still got a low and 2% tornado risk over here into portions of West Texas, eastern New Mexico. Just be mindful if you're out in those areas tonight. Wind threat is at 5 and hail threat's at 5. Now, tomorrow is where things get interesting. As expected, I mentioned this actually in my video this morning before SPC updated this. We did get a day 2 level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. So we are going to be watching for the threat for, but the potential here for some significantly large hail. Once again, we could see hail anywhere from, really 3 to 4 inches in diameter. Wouldn't be shocked to see hail out there tomorrow. Producing 5 inches in diameter again. We've had that happen a couple times last week. So, yeah, they did have a major earthquake there a couple days ago. I do remember seeing that. So, 3 different areas to watch tomorrow. Here's our main risk zone. Level 3, level 2, level 1 risk. Marginal risk extends basically from Pennsylvania back down into North Carolina again, and then a little marginal risk down here in Florida. I did not really see a lot of severe weather down in the southeast for today, at least when we had the original first day 1 outlook today. They were calling for a marginal risk for tornadoes up and down the seaboard, and that didn't really not materialize for today. So that's a good thing. Also, guys, thank you for all the gifts. I do see it. I do appreciate it very, very much. Golly. All right, let's get to our tornado risk for tomorrow. We have a low 2% tornado risk down here from Orlando to Miami tomorrow. That probably will change. We'll just look at the parameters here in just a minute on this. We do have a pretty big 2% and a 5% tornado risk for tomorrow for just outside of Lubbock, Texas, back down here in the Midland, Odessa, and Fort Stockton. This is kind of the boonies out here, but people do live here. So if you are in West Texas, eastern New Mexico, do be mindful. I would not be shocked to see potentially, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not confident, but I wouldn't rule out a small little 10% hatch tornado risk somewhere in and around Midland. That area has been prone to seeing higher tornado parameters here over the last week or so, so I wouldn't be shocked to see that. We'll just kind of have to see what happens. There's not a risk zone for tornadoes up here into the eastern marginal, but it's not 0. So Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania down to Raleigh, North Carolina, and Virginia Beach, just be mindful. Not 0, but less than 2%. Yeah, I was going to say Clovis again. I know. They are just getting it again. It's crazy. The wind threat for tomorrow is 5% from eastern Ohio and western and central Pennsylvania and western New York down through North Carolina, and then a 5% wind threat down in eastern Florida. And then once again, Eastern New Mexico, Clovis down to the western portions of Texas here under the gun for 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. I wouldn't be shocked to also see this get hatched. I also would not be shocked to see this get upgraded to a enhanced risk for damaging winds tomorrow. We're already at a hail-driven risk for tomorrow for the enhanced level, but I wouldn't be shocked to see, and we're going to talk about that, why that's going to be here in a minute. I do think a strong line of storms will develop overnight tomorrow night. Here is the hail threat for tomorrow, as expected, 5% in both marginals, and then a 30 hatch here to 15 hatch. Like I said, I would not be shocked to see hail up to 3 to 4, maybe 5 inches in diameter. Once again, back down here into portions of western Texas, Midland, Odessa, Lubbock, Fort Stockton, eastern New Mexico here. You guys got to be ready to go once again with your cars. I feel like this is, like I said, becoming a common day thing. The last time we saw a sequence of events like this was back in 2023, toward the end of the season, 2023 season into 2024, where we had just days and days and days of severe weather in this area. So once again, be under the gun here for severe weather. Tornado, wind, and hail threat is there. Like I said, I would not be shocked to see this get expanded out just a little bit and maybe upgraded out just a little bit. We'll have to see what SPC does tonight for tomorrow morning. Then things get a little bit more interesting. Tuesday, I'm going to talk to you guys about Tuesday. Tuesday has very high potential, very low floor potential, meaning that if you guys remember last week where we had that big old moderate risk zone back up into Midwest, the Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, great bust of 2025 is what I like to call it. I'm not saying that we're going to get a tornado outbreak on Tuesday. That's not what this is going to be. I think an all significant severe weather outbreak hazard is possible on Tuesday. Just given what the Storm Prediction Center is saying, I'll get to that here in just a second. We do have very, very decent to pretty moderate tornado potential, very large hail potential, and damaging wind potential on Tuesday. Tuesday will actually probably be one of the biggest days out of this whole entire week in terms of severe weather, but we do have much of southern Oklahoma here, back down here into Texas, pretty much into Louisiana and into southwestern Arkansas here. Would not also be shocked to see that slight risk get extended out. I would not be shocked to see that enhanced risk get upgraded later on tonight. I do think that there will be a level 3 enhanced risk either tonight or tomorrow at some point. So just kind of, going off of what we're seeing data-wise here, there is not a significant hatched region right now for that level 1, level 2 risk. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Houston, Austin, Pasadena, Waco, Beaumont, Texas, you're in that. I want to read you guys the wording here that we have for Tuesday. I don't have to speak much on tomorrow because we already know what tomorrow is going to be. But I want to talk to you guys about Tuesday. It says, an upper-level shortwave trough will develop eastward across Texas to the lower Mississippi on Tuesday. Enhanced deep layer southwesterly flow will overspread the region as low-level moist advection, I say that word every time wrong, advection aids in a weakly capped and moderately unstable environment across parts of the central East Texas area. A warm front is forecast to slowly lift northward into North Texas, the Red River vicinity. Meanwhile, a dry line will extend southward across central Texas. Pay attention to this next paragraph, though. It says, the forecast is complicated by likely ongoing convection Tuesday morning, both along the warm front and possibly with a remnant cluster across central Texas. Downstream dew points in the mid-60s to low 70s within the warm sector and steep mid-level lapse rates will result in a corridor of 1,500 to 2,500 joules per kilogram of ML Cape. That is pretty decent amounts of instability. I think that number will actually be a lot higher given what the ensembles and the models are showing. And then we've got, it says, supercell wind profiles will support organized convection through though storm mode remains a bit uncertain. If it is possible, discrete cells could develop along the dry line and shift east during the afternoon and evening. Clustering along the warm front will also could result in developing an MCS. While details remain uncertain, potential for significant all-hazard severe weather is possible, and outlook upgrades may be needed in later outlooks. So, with that being said, as I mentioned, I would not be shocked by the time we get to Tuesday if the models do trend up and we don't see this messy convection mode like some of the models are suggesting right now, pretty much all of them. I would not be shocked to see a level 3 enhanced risk with a 10% hatched tornado risk, a hatched wind threat, and a hatched hail threat for central and south central Texas on your Tuesday. Tuesday looks to be like it's going to be the biggest day out of the whole week just because the troughing is set up pretty decently. We've got enough instability schematics and all of that is going to be in place for Tuesday's event. So that's as of what it stands right now. We could be looking at a whole different situation. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have to just watch this very, very closely. Outside of that, though, I wouldn't also be shocked to see some type of marginal risk issued on Tuesday for the coast here, just given the low pressure system that's still spinning. Outside of that, pretty big general thunderstorm risk in general. So, and then guys, the good news is, and this is the first time you're probably going to hear me say this, as of right now, it does not look to be that we are going to really see any severe weather for the day 4 through 8 outlook. We are probably going to see our first actual break in severe weather after Friday gets here. It looks to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will probably be our are days where there's legit there's no weather going on other than just a heat dome over the United States. We'll talk about what that looks like on the models here in just a second. It says, but this is just their discussion. It says the upper level low in the southwest will begin to weaken on Wednesday. Therefore, it will make slow eastward progress before weakening a cutoff low over the lower Mississippi Valley by the weekend. This upper level pattern will help push a surface boundary along and offshore of the Gulf Coast as the weekend progresses. This boundary will move further offshore along with the upper level low in the west and plains. Upper level ridging will begin. Basically, however, the overall pattern will not be favorable for any areas of organized, predictable severe weather. So, for the first time ever, we may get some little marginal risk on Wednesday for the east or for the Gulf Coast, but this is the first time I'm going to say this. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will probably not have anything going on, which means we get a break. We get a flipping break, which is super freaking exciting. Ridge is going to build. That's going to keep temperatures warm. It's going to keep things quiet. Things can change, but not this. I just don't see that changing this far or this close to this event being here. We're literally talking within a matter of 3 days. So we'll talk about the modeling and all that here in just a second. But that is something to look forward to in terms of that, which means we won't have coverage. We'll have nightly updates to talk about what's going to come up towards the second and third week of February or not February. Oh my God. For the month of May, for the third and fourth, for the second and third week of May, it looks like things are going to be a little bit more active in terms of the 14th, 15th, and beyond. So also, guys, y'all are going to love me for saying this. We are watching. I'm going to say this very, very boldly. We are watching for the potential for a potential tropical system to potentially be on the table going into the third and fourth week of May. It is not there yet, but the potential is there. There are a lot of people on this damn platform that are already doing the thing. Do not buy into that whatsoever. I literally cannot say that enough. Potentially. When I say potentially, we're looking at a 10% chance right now of there being anything. And the time period that that's going to be is May 20th and beyond. So we're 16 days out. 16 days out, okay? It is not uncommon to see a tropical system before June 1st. Actually, between between the years of 2013 and 2023, we saw a tropical system, a named tropical system before the June 1st period. It is not unnormal to see that. Most times not. They're very weak. They don't really do anything. They most times just kind of spin off the coast. They may not even make a landfall. Just something we're going to have to watch. We're going to have to watch very, very closely to these systems that are going to be closer to home. But as I'm mentioning, do not buy into these complete idiotic people that are on this app that want to scare you or that want to make you crap your britches. If you guys don't hear it from me, it is not true. Do not believe it whatsoever. If you don't hear it from Jessica, if you don't hear it from me, if you don't hear it from Connor, do not believe it whatsoever. It is not true. Literally, I will not call that person's name out, but they know who I'm talking about. There's a couple other people that do it as well. I'm going to let you guys know as well. We're going to start next week, probably doing Hurricane Preparedness Week on streams. We're going to start talking about what to do when you get hurricane warnings, watches, all that stuff, etc. We're going to probably start to do that at some point, either this weekend or next week. So I will definitely... we'll be definitely talking about that a lot. We'll also be paying attention to NHC outlooks and discussions and all of that stuff once we get closer to that June 1st time period. So that's something we're going to have to battle. As viewers, I appreciate y'all that do watch very, very much. I'm going to tell you guys now that are in the streams before hurricane season gets crazy, okay? Once we are talking about hurricane season, my live stream times are going to change dramatically. We do a lot longer live streams. We do a lot longer video discussions. We do a lot longer just me existing on this platform, legitimately. I will probably spend, instead of taking 1 to 2 hours for nightly updates, we'll probably have morning, afternoon, and nightly update live streams. And if there's a day where we get a tropical system that's trying to develop, we'll probably sit on live stream all damn day and talk about it. That is because I want people to be prepared. I want people to get real information. I want people to be told the truth on what's happening weather-wise. There's a lot of good information out there. That there are a lot of good people that also do this, but there are also a lot of people out there that do not do this, and they do this for views, or they do it for monetization, or they do it for just scaring people, and that's not okay. So please be mindful, guys. Spread the word. If you don't hear it from trusted people that are either in school or have degrees or at least have some type of idea of what is going on in the atmosphere. Do not believe it. You are going to see every single person on this platform, at least on TikTok, I should say, that thinks they're a meteorologist once hurricane season gets here, and that's not true whatsoever. So, oh, it's so fun to troll those people. Just kidding. I don't do that. But anyways, that's what I'm getting at. So we're going to talk more and more about that as we get closer to things starting to happen. You're going to start to see me look at the NHC outlooks. We're going to start to look at, just ensembles more. We're going to do a lot more things. So, yeah, very, very much. Yeah. That is the biggest thing, is just keeping you guys safe, keeping y'all ready to go. I'm never going to give y'all false information. Y'all know that. If you've watched for a while, if you're new, welcome to the stream where we don't give out false information. We only give out true information, and that's based off of actual legit facts. So you guys are in a good situation here. So let's briefly talk about tomorrow. I want to run through these models, at least the her model run here, and kind of give you guys a glimpse of what we're going to be seeing here for tomorrow. Holograph. What, babe? I'm so confused. Hold on a minute. I'm so confused right now. Did I say holographs? Oh, were you just speaking? I think Rochelle was just speaking in general. I thought I had said something wrong. Anyways, okay, I got you. Okay. Here we go with tomorrow's setup. Like I said, we're going to look at our reflectivity first. This is the latest OOZ her model run. You're going to see that ongoing showers and storms through tomorrow morning, yada, 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 yada. Watch what happens. So we're going to have our warm front kind of lift like this. Excuse me, cold front off to the west here. Just imagine this. And we're going to see, as the afternoon progresses tomorrow, we're going to see cumulus clouds develop, and cumulus clouds build into cumulonimbus clouds. And then here is what happens. You get supercells that fire off between about 3, 4, 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon Central Time, roughly. And then a couple of these could produce some large hail, some damaging winds. A couple tornadoes will be possible, but I really want to watch you guys to see what's going to happen after 11 o'clock tomorrow night. It does look to be that we are going to get a push. That cold front is officially going to work its way east, and we're going to get a line of storms that's going to develop. I do think that this does have QLCS tornadoes potential on it tomorrow night. This is going to be after midnight tomorrow, going into your Tuesday morning, that this develops here. A couple of embedded tornadoes here, potentially some large hail, some damaging winds, and then eventually by about 4 to 5 a.m. as this gets closer into central Texas, this falls apart. Now, this is a big player on what happens Tuesday. If we wake up Tuesday morning and there's a lot of convection ongoing across Texas and this looks like a mess, then you can count your blessings that this will probably not be a high magnitude event on Tuesday. It's going to be all dependent on what happens tomorrow night, which plays a role on what happens on Tuesday, because what the models are trying to do is they're trying to go supercellular. And if we don't have a lot of clustering and we get some discreteness with this, I would not be shocked to see a pretty decent 10% hatch tornado risk, at least somewhere in this south central portions of Texas going into your Tuesday afternoon. It definitely looks possible for that severe weather mode to be on the table there. And then after that, things just get a little bit more messy. Couple supercells. I do want to say one thing too. We need to watch down here into southern Louisiana and into eastern Texas or at least after dinner time on Tuesday going into Tuesday night, because if we do get some clearing here and there isn't a lot of convection with this front moving through, we could actually get a little bit of enhanced supercell potential on the I-10 corridor. We're going to have to watch this very, very closely. Lainey, I know you're in here, so that's also speaking to you as well. We're just going to have to see what happens with this. So, I don't think it's unusual to see cumulus clouds with surface temperatures in the 30s. We actually had a severe thunderstorm in, I believe it was 20 to 30 degree temps up in the Dakotas when the season first kicked off. It ended up actually producing a tornado in 30 degree temperatures. So it's not uncommon. You can't have it happen. It is rare, but I'd say it can happen though. There's never anything that's impossible in the weather world. So this is our run. This is how far as the her goes out. We'll have that updated run for for Monday full and Tuesday full. Golly. In tomorrow's video. Sorry, guys. Just taking a look at dew points for tomorrow as well. We'll just kind of look here and see what we're looking at with our dry line setup. And honestly, right now, dew points tomorrow do not look that great. I'm a little bit iffed on dew points. It looks like they arrive a little bit later. Yeah, dew points don't really arrive until after 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we're going to have to see how this affects storm initiation. But nevertheless, here we go. Going into Tuesday. Tuesday looks really, really good. Look at that warm front. Actually, your warm front is technically dry line, warm front, surface low up here to the north, upper level surface low with it. This would be the area to kind of watch here, I think, in terms of where we're going to see the higher potential severe weather at. We're going to have to see where that goes. We are pushing upper 70s for dew points. That's absolutely disgusting. That is ridiculous humidity. Not a fan of that in terms of humidity values. And then looking at temperatures, that's going to suck. Yeah. That's going to suck with the temperatures with it. Actually, temperatures aren't going to be too bad. We're looking at upper 70s, so not too bad. But it's definitely going to feel humid out there for sure. So, and then there'll be some warmer temperatures that potentially come in behind it, 90s afterwards potentially. So, another thing we're going to look at here, we're going to look at instability. Let's do mixed layer cape. This will give us a better idea. Yeah, we're going to have pretty decent cape values through this whole event between tomorrow and into Tuesday. I wouldn't even be shocked to see instability pushing 4,000 surface space at some point going into Tuesday afternoon. And then we look at our tornado parameters here and we go... Things get really spicy tomorrow night. I'm a little bit more concerned about the MCS that's going to develop tomorrow night for tornado potential. These are some pretty decent tornado parameter values for the HRRR tomorrow. Let's just take a sounding here out of Odessa. Yikes. That is not good. That is not a great photograph, and there's a storm over it. Beautiful backed winds. Beautiful backed winds here. Let me go to my other one. So you got your winds parallel all the way down, and then they go spurs surface. You got a PDS tour sounding. Got a pretty interesting photograph here. It's like your winds bend out of the southwest around the surface low here. That's a little bit spicy there. Let's see here. Yikes. Yeah, this is interesting. Do we get any helicity on these? Yeah, we do. We get a little bit of helicity. I love how one just splotched up over eastern Louisiana there. Oh yeah, guys, we're going to run over the merch here in just a few minutes as well. If you guys have not checked out my merch, please go check out the merch. Merch is online. It's in the website, mizamatwx.com. You guys can check out my merch. Link is in my bio. We'll talk about that here again in just a minute. Yeah, I'm a little bit more concerned about tomorrow night's MCS. We might end up doing pretty decent overnight coverage tomorrow night if this does happen. We're going to have to watch model trends tomorrow, see if the HRRR does, see what the NAM does. I think the NAM's also doing the same thing as well. Yeah, guys, go check out the merch. It's online. We dropped it last night. NAM's not great in terms of the mode that this is going to be in, but yikes. NAM's really spicy going through Tuesday and Wednesday there, too. All right, let's look at the Infinis Rufus model. Let's see what the Rufus is doing. I don't even want to think. Oh, that's not the newest run, or that's the oldest run. Let's go 18Z. Oh, that is gross. That is disgusting. That Rufus model, what are you doing? All right, this is not going to happen. This is an exaggerated model run. That's not going to happen. Yeah, that's the Rufus model. This is the most... Guys, so this model is good for high-end scenarios and for what we call shits and giggles. It likes to turn every single storm into a supercell. That's what this model is known for doing. Why do we use it, you ask? Because it's there. It is right sometimes, but yeah. Golly. Poor Louisiana. Poor Louisiana. Louisiana here. Yeah, poor Louisiana. That looks like a lot of rainfall. Let's see what the H Wharf ARW is doing here. Yeah, so this one looks a little bit more better. Yeah, I don't know how Tuesday's gonna go yet. Tuesday looks interesting. We're just gonna have to wait and see what overnight trends do, what tomorrow's trends do. Let's look at the impasse. What is this? Would be interesting tomorrow. This would be an interesting scenario. I wonder if we get that risk to shift up south a little bit or north a little bit. See, there's the surface low. Interesting. I'm just looking at some different things here, guys. Yeah, I know they're going to upgrade Tuesday to an enhanced risk. It's going to happen. I figured that out this afternoon when they updated it. Let's go back to the HRRR here and look at our surface winds. Yeah, your low-level jet doesn't even kick in until late tomorrow night, and they're going to be backed up against the low. Yeah, the low is literally like right here tomorrow evening, around 7 to 8 p.m. And you've got your winds that are going to come parallel out of the southwest. Let's see what our... So that's the winds out of the southwest. Let's go 500 millibar. Interesting. Look at that trough ejection. Golly. Tuesday looks... If we could just keep... Okay, we want to have morning time convection clearly to keep this from being a bigger day, but golly, this is a trough. Beautiful low pressure system, beautiful southwesterly flowing winds. This would be a big troublemaker on Tuesday if this organizes. Very, very spicy. That's a classic Texas outbreak right there. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this goes. Texic, yeah, I'm spitting out words today. And then you get a little bit of enhancement on your jet stream at the mid levels, almost 80 knots up here. That hodograph is doing some wonky things because it's wrapped around the low. Yeah, we're going to have to watch this. We're going to watch trends tomorrow. It's okay, it said North Virginia this morning. That's funny. And you get a pretty decent low. So your low-level jet kicks in right around storm initiation tomorrow. So that's pretty decent timing. Or not for tomorrow, but for Tuesday. And then there it goes as the low goes east. And you can, like I said, you can see where the low is at. It is very, very easy to point out. You'll have a cold front. You'll have a warm front lift. Got to watch Louisiana overnight. Slight risk extension, maybe east a little bit. We'll see what they do with that. Dew points looked good. All right, let's talk models here for just a minute. Let's look at our 18Z GFS from this afternoon. As you guys can see here, this is a beautiful image. I'm going to do it one time. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Oh, man. Diana, good to see ya. Hailing there. Oh, yeah, I bet it is hailing there. You guys are going to have more storms tomorrow, too, which is going to bring more. In 4K. So, and then you get a big old smiley face underneath of it. So there's that. Ro, did you change your profile picture? It's throwing me off. It's a beautiful... I just saw that. It's a beautiful picture. All right, guys. So Omega block pattern in place here. We all know what an Omega block pattern looks like. It looks like the Omega symbol. L on low pressure system on one side, low pressure system on the other, ridge on top, ridge in the middle, high pressure dominating in the middle gives us warm temps, rainstorms on both sides, really more rain on the west side than the other one. But basically what's going to happen is this is going to go east. We get into Monday and Tuesday. We lose the ridge after tomorrow, and we get this nice little double barrel upper level trough here. And then as we go into Wednesday, we might get one more day of severe weather on Wednesday down here along the south portions of the Gulf Coast here. And then we get into this. I want you guys to pay attention to this northern piece right here. This is going to be what's going to set up going into the rest of this week and into the weekend. This is what we call a ridge. You get a big old heat dome that builds. This little trough should start to fade as we go into Thursday and Friday. Might still have some storms on the East Coast here, very low end storm threat. But it does look like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday should be very, very quiet. We shouldn't have really any active weather until we get to Sunday. We're going to have about a 3 to 4 day stretch where there shouldn't be much going on. And then we get into the following week, May 11th and beyond. And then we get to deal with this. We get to deal with the potential, maybe for our first big potential severe weather setup up here into portions of the Rockies and up into the northern plains. We've got a little bit of a disturbance down here into the southeast that we'll have to watch. And then past that, things get a little bit uncertain. But I want you guys to see. We get a break and then we're right back at it all over again. Troughing. And this is what's going to be interesting. If a tropical system does decide to try and develop down into the Caribbean, we'll talk about this here in a second, the models are trying to put a high pressure system down south into the Gulf, which ultimately would keep whatever system would go toward the United States out of here. The storms don't like high pressure systems. They're going to dodge them. They're going to move away. So we're just going to have to see what happens. But I do think, like I said, pretty active trend going toward the 3rd and 4th week of the month of May. Really just not a lot to look at in terms of until we get to that point. So let's take a look here and see if we've got anything. What's up, Mark? Good to see you, man. Let's just see if we have anything that's trying to go here on the latest GFS. Yeah, there it is. Right there. This is going to be really interesting to watch how this unfolds. You do have a low that does try. The gyro spits it out. There it is. Looks like it's going to should stay south though. Like I said, you're going to have, if the GFS is right, I'll look at the Euro here in a second. If the GFS is right, we have a ridge. So this would basically push this direction. It should because your high pressure system goes, I'm flipping out here counterclockwise. It should pull it. It's going to either pull it left or it's going to pull it right. So we'll have to see, but this is going to be really interesting. Like I said, the fact that we're now watching tropical systems again. Let's see if the Euro has it. Euro has it. Euro has it a little bit further to the south, though. GFS had it here. European had it down south. Lainey, I swear I cannot with you. I know, it really does feel like that. Like, I feel like we just got out of hurricane season. It's gone by so damn quickly. Yeah, this will be something to watch. Does the icon? I don't know if the icon's that far out. Yeah, icon's not that far out. This is interesting. Let's look at the Canadian. Yep, Canadian's got it down there too. Does the CFS also show it? Interesting. Oh, the Canadian goes all the way out to June 5th, which is funny. That's my birthday. That's crazy, actually. Crazy stuff. We don't look that far out, though, because that's not accurate. But that'd be interesting to watch on my birthday. Anyways, that's long-range models, guys. We'll start to talk more about that. By the way, guys, if you have not checked out the Mesomat merch, You better hop to it. Joe, buy you some Mesomat merch, guys. We've had 11 orders placed since we've opened up the shop last night. 11 orders at place. So it's been freaking awesome. I will show you guys, if you guys have not checked that out, that link is in my bio. Here's some of the top lovely favorites. We got our premium black shirt here. We'll take a look at this. There it is. That's my logo. That's me. That's the Mesomat. $13. Very, very cheap stuff. Not very expensive. Goes from extra small all the way up to 5XL. That is a standard black shirt there. We got some stickers. We got a holographic die cut sticker, $5, 2x2, 3x3, and 4x4. And then this is one of our Shell's favorites. When in doubt, Mezzo Tomato it out. We got a Mezzo Tomato t-shirt here, extra small all the way out to 5XL. A couple of these colors are not quite here yet because they're out of stock on Printify or Shopify or whatever it's called. But lots of really cool stuff. And then you actually get here to see the merch, the actual stuff. Got the Cow versus Chair t-shirt. It says, sometimes you're the cow, or sorry, sometimes you're the chair, and sometimes you're the cow. Love this shirt. It's freaking awesome. Different colors for that. We do have a what's the word here? A limited edition Jenny Purr t-shirt, guys. This is only going to be in store, I believe, for the next 2 weeks. So if you want my favorite cat, Jenny Purr, the one that dive bombs on my streams all the time, this is only going to be out for the next 2 weeks. So grab this up. There is also a sticker as well for this too. There's a Jenny Purr sticker. You can put that on your laptop. Anything you want, you got to get that. And then we have the Matagon warning hoodie. Hold
on. A new Matagon warning has been issued.
Oh yeah, and that's in Roro form. So anytime I issue a tornado warning, you slap this thing on and you're good to go. And it also has the tornadoes on the sleeves, which is super freaking cool. So that's in all sizes there, sports gray, white, all that. I really like the freaking blue. I might honestly have to get me a blue one. I really like this blue since it came out yesterday. Yeah, guys, the shop is online. The link is in my bio. The shop is online. So you guys can do that. We have Matagon stickers, and then this is the one that Connor came up with, which is freaking awesome. Mezzo knows clouds. Mezzo knows nothing else, which is very true. And there's Roro.
I want to clarify something because he is messing this up.
What did I do?
So the shop here that you were seeing on his screen is not like in the link tree. You have to go to the mesomatwx.com link. Then you get to go to here. It's in the tab on the top.
She has the shirt on.
I do have the shirt on. You can't see it because he's in the way. I have the shirt on. Anyways, you gotta go to the mesomatwx.com link that's in his bio. Then once you're there, it'll say on the top of the bar, Mesomat WX merch. You click there, and then that'll take you to there.
Yes. That is the way to do it. Yes, I'm assuming so.
Yes.
Woo!
I'm the one that created it, so I would know.
Yeah. Period. We love that for Roro.
But yeah, the chair and the cow shirt, I actually have it on.
Woo! It's pretty cool. I love it.
It's very soft. Yeah. I've worn it all day. It feels great. It's great quality.
Woo! But yeah. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Okay, you continue showing it all.
Okay, bet. So yeah, then we have this. This is the Mezzo Nose t-shirt. Pretty freaking cool. All sizes. It's fine. Let her just stay in here. It's Jenny Purr. That's fine. Then we have the stickers. We have the plain stickers. And then we do have a long sleeve tee. Different colors here. This is the only long shirt tee that we do have. Come on up here, Jenny Purr. Nope, come here. Come here. You know you want to be seen. Here she is, guys. It is Jenny Purr. The Purr. This cat is something else. She got a little pouch on her there. She can store stuff later for the winter. Right? You're adorable. Y'all ready for something cool? Watch this. Yay! Anyways, she'll come back for more in a minute. But anyways, there's the t-shirt. Pretty freaking cool there. And then we do have the, and she just came back for more. Anyways, we've got the snapback trucker cap, which is pretty cool as well. This has also got embroidery. This is embroidered from what Rochelle said. So this is pretty freaking cool. We got different colors here: gray, white, red, pink, evergreen, and white. Pretty cool stuff. And then we've got the plain t-shirt there. We've got a phone cases for all phone types as well. We got the Mezzo Nation t-shirt, different colors, all sizes for this. Pretty cool stuff on here. Gotta love it. Freaking excited. And then the tomato shirt, y'all saw that one. And then we do have the Streamin' and Screamin' t-shirt. Basically, this is what I wear except for today's shirt, once again. We've got the, no matter the attire, we are streaming and screaming. I love this. Literally what I wear on a daily basis. Rochelle, like, physically did all that. It's wild. And then we get to the second page here, and we've got the, we got beans, we got problems sticker. Pretty cool. And then we have the We Got Beans, We Got Problems t-shirt, $15. All of these t-shirts are pretty much about $15, between $15 and $20, depending on the size you get. So pretty cool stuff there. And then we got a Louisiana here. Louisiana here. Louisiana here. Louisiana here sticker. And we got Louisiana here t-shirt, which is pretty freaking cool. Different shirts, different colors, all that lovely, lovely stuff. And then we got a What About Ohio sticker, as y'all requested for. Pretty cool there. And then a What About Ohio t-shirt, different colors. Oh, yeah. And then the last stuff that we have on right now is what's called Where's the Warning? There's a sticker for that. And then we've got the shirt for it, which is pretty cool. So Rochelle made all of these guys from scratch, handmade, in terms of like what's on them. So a lot of this stuff will come and go. Some of this stuff's going to be rotated. We'll kind of let you guys know how that goes. The Jenny Purr is the only thing that's going to be out for the next, I believe, 2 weeks is what Rochelle was saying. So if you want that Jenny Purr merch, the shirt and the sticker, you're going to have to get it before the next 2 weeks is up. So that's where we'll be at in terms of that. So get mad. You're so mad. Jenny Purr. So, y'all got questions, comments, everything. I'm going to wrap stream up here because I'm going to crash. I'm tired. It's 10:30. We've been on here for about an hour. I wanted to get a weather update out to you guys. We will be in coverage mode tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. I'll have a video out for you guys pretty early in the morning. Oh yeah, I do want to ask you guys something. Really, really quickly here, and this is for the Peanut Gallery, so this is for all you guys. I need some feedback. I'm going to probably ask this for the next 2 or 3 days just to get some feedback for you guys. I thought about doing this. I talked to Rochelle about this. I'm thinking about offering paid sessions, like coaching sessions for like teaching y'all weather stuff. So if anybody in chat is interested, and you know, clearly you would have to pay. It's gonna be like an hourly thing, so like it's gonna be, I think we're gonna charge $25 or $30 an hour. So you basically tell me what information you want to learn weather-wise, and I'll teach it to you. It's basically a one-on-one call with me. I'll walk you guys through how to read stuff, do things, learn things. If that's something you're interested in, potentially, I'm not trying to like, you know, like take people's money or any of that, but it takes time out of my day, and so if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna, you know, clearly have to, you know, get somewhere from that. I don't mean like that, but y'all know what I'm saying. I thought about starting to open that up, maybe starting like next week or so. If that's something y'all are interested in, let me know. Jenny Purr. Is there anybody? Yeah. Like I said, I'm not a degreed meteorologist, but I am willing to take time out of my day for anybody that would like coaching sessions on how to like run models, look at radar, all that stuff. I can't teach that stuff on stream all the time because I'm so busy. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well as Rochelle does. So in order for me to do that, yeah, like I said, it's going to be a paid thing. Like I said, yeah, it would be between, I think we're going to do, depending on how many people we get and how many people are interested, it would be probably about $20-25 an hour per hour. So whether that's something like one thing, as much as I can cram into an hour that you want to know, feel free to do it. If we can get it all in an hour, absolutely. If it takes longer than that, then you know, you guys know how it would work. Yeah, if that's something you guys, I'm just trying to get some feedback on that. It's like I said, I don't want to charge people an arm and a leg, but at the same time, like I said, if I'm going to take time out of my day, there'll have to be clearly something in place for that. So, yeah. if you guys are cool with that, I will probably get that. I'll ask stream tomorrow. I'll ask stream on during tomorrow's coverage on what people think about that, and then we'll kind of go from there, and I'll make a decision on what I'm going to do with that. But yeah, it would be basically a one-on-one Discord call with me, and you'll basically learn what you ask, what you want to know. So I think that would be super, super cool. So, but yeah, I'm going to get off here, guys. I appreciate y'all. My weather team in here. Thank you guys. Jessica, thank you for stopping in. Thank you guys for all hopping in here. Make sure y'all go check out the Mezzo merch. With the spinning wind thing. That's wild, Laney. That's a special weather statement. No, I'm just kidding. That's either a tornado or a hurricane. Yeah, I was gonna say Rochelle's gonna do that. Yeah. But yeah, I will holler at you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys on here for coverage tomorrow afternoon. Other than that, guys, be safe, be weather aware, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.